believe they're talking about stripping Max. I don't mean you're stripping the finishing. I do believe if he becomes 155-pound champion of the world, everybody wants to fight Conor. That is his way back to Conor. That is his way to the big money. He's now got why would he go down to 45, a weight that he's already established is so hard. So I think that's fair. So I think whether you want to say he vacates, he relinquishes, or what, you got to get over there at 45. Again, Monday's problem. Should he get destroyed? The reason I bring that up is because that's what the odds makers are predicting. Should he get destroyed, now you've got to repackage and rebrand him, and it's not as simple as us smart marks going, well, yeah, he was out of his weight class, and it was 6 days notice. It does not work that way. All that works is if people sit down in their living room and that guy got his ass kicked. That's the end of it. That's unfair. That's also the reality. So now you get, what are you going to do? You got to rebrand. I guess you go right to T-City and just move forward and hope that people are short term. That is, though, Brian Ortega was promised the next shot at Max's title. That is foreseen that Max has that title and defends it. I think that is where Ortega might have made a little bit more sense as an opponent for Khabib. You satisfy that promise to him, but it then takes him out of his weight class. You go, hey, I promise you a title shot, you're going to get the title shot, but now it's at 155, and oh, by the way, you need to be on the scale in 5 days and in the ring in 6. It's a tough sell, so respect to both of these guys for saying yes. I will take you at your word that Eddie was offered the fight. I didn't know that. I did not know Eddie was offered the fight. So I have no opinion there. I guess all I'm trying to say is, did we settle on the right opponent? And it's always very hard to say, well, yeah, a straight-up killer, a blockbuster draw, a young man named Max Holloway with the title around his waist that has surprised the world on other occasions. Sure. Yeah, he's a good draw. But I also thought it spoke a couple of volumes. I mean, don't forget you have Joanna Knott champion was the most talented female to ever fight in the women's division. She's taken on Thug Rose, who is one of the most beloved women.
Yeah, if we don't stop you there, I think they missed that. I think that was brilliant.
Thanks.
Yeah, I was Joanna Knott champion. See, I didn't even see that coming. That was beautiful.
That's been a while since you've been in Kansas City, actually. That wasn't the first time that's been dropped.
Over here.
Over here.
All right.
Well, the show you used to listen to.
Okay, I didn't.
But I will tell you this. It is one of the elephants in the room, but you've got a rematch. Rematch have always done well. You've got the most talented girl in the history of women's fighting against one of the most popular. The fact that was never even discussed to be elevated into a main event, I think is a little bit interesting. And then when you look a little bit further down the road, which is, look at Tony Ferguson. And Tony Ferguson came out and he said, man, stripping me off of a freak accident, that's not cool. And so let's discuss that, because Tony did get stripped, and he did everything right. He did everything he was supposed to do. He's out there doing interviews. He's out there doing media. To strip a guy when he's injured is rare, because it is a little bit heartless. And I would have to agree with Tony. Yes, this was done with hot heart. That's true. But I would also then remind Tony, the reason you became the interim champion, the reason that you and Kevin Lee were given the opportunity to fight for the interim championship was out of heart. It was out of a compassion to the guys in the back who had their division put on hold because of Conor's reluctance in conjunction with Conor versus Mayweather, which sucked a lot of air and a lot of time out of the room. So I would not argue with Tony that, yeah, this was a little bit cold. However, the reason you were given a shot for the belt in the first place was out of warmth, and at the end of the day, business can be kind of cold, and Tony, not for nothing, we have got to get on with it. This division has been a mess for a while. We got to get on with it, and I hope that you have a place in this, and I think that you do down the road, but for April 6th, I promise the world an undisputed lightweight title fight. I have to honor that promise.
All right, so there's two sides to that coin. The first side is there can't be two belts. There can't be
God damn it.
Interim belts getting defended or not getting defended and the regular belt. That just doesn't make any sense. But if you're going to do that, if you're going to take him, because he hasn't done anything wrong, if you're going to take him out of holding that interim belt or whatever you want to call it, the comics ring, don't tell us that you're not going to try to make this fight the 5th time, because Tony hadn't done anything wrong. He hadn't done anything wrong. He got hurt on your set. So I don't know if there's a lawyer in the United States, but there could be one that says, whoa, let's run this back a little bit. Let's hold on before we start saying all of the things that you're going to do. And Dana probably said those things because he's blindsided by this again.
Yeah, that's right. He was emotional. The house was on fire.
But let me go a different direction with this and ask you, because I think you could run JJ and Rose out there in the main event in a heartbeat. Give Khabib somebody else. Leave the belt situation alone. Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that there's more cooks in the kitchen? Dana's went through this 100 times, and maybe there's a little panic. Maybe there's a little panic about these events. That's why we drag Holloway in. That's not, instead of putting JJ and Rose on the top bill.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I suppose I need a little bit more time. For sure, to say there was some panic going, yeah. But I don't know that would come from a bad side as much as you were given a week. You got a center that's sold out, the Barclays Center. I mean, it's packed. You got all the media. It's a really fight. You're going to get on that allegedly Conor is going to be there to then greet the winner, which will also be his next opponent, and get that momentum going, allegedly. So, yeah, there's some panic, when everything starts to fall apart. I will tell you this. The recipe followed by Zuffa has not completely been picked up since the owner.
Stupid.
I don't know if one has to do with the other or if it was just a timing. But I'll explain it to you like this. What Zuffa used to do, I think it's the same thing, but I will share with you the time. This changed about a year and a half ago when the UFC stopped with this model. But here's what they do. You've got a card. You got 5 main card, right? 5 feature televised fights. Unlike the boxing model where you're going to come in extremely top heavy, you are going to put dollars behind every one of those 5 fights. If your main event is a heavyweight fight, by example, you will make sure one of the other feature matches is also a heavyweight fight. You will promote it, you will billboard it, you will poster it, you will B-roll it, you will build packages, you will make sure that's in front of people so that if one of the contestants in your heavyweight fight falls out, you grab one of the guys that you've already put money behind, you've already advertised, you've already promised, and is already in training camp, and you bump him up. This happened a number of times, and business ran very smoothly because of it. I have noticed as of late, and I don't know the cause. In fact, I think I don't even offer you the premise that it is an ownership. I just offered to you that with the ownership change, it was also kind of in conjunction with his time. That model has not been followed as much. Generally, we would have a Khabib versus Tony on top of the bill. We would then have a Poirier versus Gaethje as one of the other 4 featured fights. Those guys would be in training, their weight would be on check, their teams are flying to the same room. Everything's the same except now you get split up here. Fans, hey, well, leave well enough alone. We're close. Let's move forward with it. I have seen that change. 3 UFCs, 3 pay-per-views have suffered, all because of something goofy. Just in this calendar year, to bring this to your awareness. But Rockhold versus Romero wasn't supposed to happen. It's supposed to be Whitaker versus Romero. Cyborg just fought a gal from Invicta. I can't remember what fight that was to replace. I believe it was Frankie versus Max, but that fell apart. Now here we are, Khabib versus Tony, and this falls apart. It's a really hard thing, and I don't like to sit and judge the leaders and the organizers because they're hurt. They're out of pocket. They're hurt. This is a really hard way to move forward with business. But I have noticed that the idea of whatever weight class is headlining the bill and whatever gender it is, you then put that same weight class in that same men's or women's as a feature match so that everybody's in training, everybody's on weight, everybody's coming to the same arena, and then maybe you shuffle the deck. That I haven't seen as of late. And so you bring in a guy who's not in training camp, who was not on the bill, who's going to have to lose a record amount of weight even though he's getting spotted 5 kilos, and you end up in this spot.
That's a great point. but you're missing that you have a former champion in fighting. Anthony Pettis is fighting on Saturday. He's fighting Paul Felder.
I didn't know that fight was happening.
Yeah, they could have brought him up.
No, he's not.
It doesn't make a lot of sense
He's fighting.
to me. Or actually, I don't know. Because your guy
Iaquinta's fighting Paul Felder.
made the better part of your run and out of saying yes. So how many times did you say yes? We know the times that you said yes and got the fight. You actually said yes to John Jones. He said no. They canceled the fight. That got you the opportunity to go do the tough and this, that, and other. How many times did you say yes and it didn't go through? So we don't know all of the people that they did call that either said yes or no. We never hear about anybody saying no. Nobody. Eddie Alvarez did. He just said I was too big. I was just too big. I'm north of 180 pounds. I couldn't have made it. We don't hear how many people say no. So how many times did you say yes and not get the fight?
Yeah, and I have to think about that. I can't think of a single one off the top of my head. I can't remember saying yes and then it didn't come through. I get what they did. I get when you would call Ortega and you would call Eddie. I mean, that's just smart. You call as many guys as you can. You find out what your options are and you move from there. No way to say, there's no way in theory to say Max is a bad option. And I'm not there. That isn't my message. I'm trying to pull out of me what my internal thoughts are on this, but there was something about that specific matchup. Knowing Max wasn't ready. I respect the hell out of him, but knowing that he wasn't ready, seeing the way, getting his own trainers to come out, I mean, saying a guy, this is the biggest cut of all time, that is akin to saying he's not ready. Well, he's not training. His weight is out of control. He hasn't been putting in the miles. He hasn't been sparring. He's not jumping the ropes. He's not showing. I mean, that's the exact same thing as saying that. That's why the weigh-in is so important. That's why odds will always change. From any fight, boxing, MMA, they will always change at the scale. When a guy takes his shirt off and you get a look at it, particularly in the heavyweight division, when a guy comes in 10 pounds heavier than he's ever been before, it's a direct reflection of how prepared is he for this fight. So I wasn't really certain why Lockhart was offering
Dude.
this. I also would
Stuck on the ladder.
A media member would reach out to John Lockhart for his opinion on it.
Oh, God. Thank God you said two true statements. First off, you're not cutting the weight, George Lockhart. Okay? You're not losing a pound. This whole thing got turned upside down in mixed martial arts. There isn't a wrestler on this planet that's won a gold medal aside from the last 12 years that ever had a nutritionist. And he made weight every single time, and he won. We've been cutting weight for 100 years. But because there became some shine in this business, oh, God, we're going to have to go learn how to cut weight. We're going to do it a different way. I watched you do both sides of it. I watched you do it with the nutritionist, counting all your calories and all that shit. And I watched you do it the old school way. It didn't have a bit of difference in your performance. If anything, the old school way was a little bit better. So this George Lockhart guy, who he's both of them. They got this great gimmick where we're gonna teach you how to run and how to eat, and you're gonna be the best you possible, and give us a couple grand and let us stand behind you at weight.